Show starts in 5 minutes.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us, and we extend a cordial welcome to you. We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on our giant screen with the new, colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading about. To add to your enjoyment, we're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome.
Hey, fellas, don't fight over that hot dog. There's plenty for everyone. Big, plump, and juicy, wrapped in an oven-fresh bun. Add mustard, relish, ketchup, and go to work. Yes, the hot dogs at our refreshment center are the best you'll find anywhere. Everybody agrees on that.
It's 4 minutes till showtime.
Yum, yum. It's time for a tasty and refreshing snack. We promise to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, your sweet tooth. So visit our refreshment center now. Let's go! Show starts in 3 minutes.
Your attention, please. All new hotshot electric in-car heaters have been installed for your comfort and convenience. Just insert heater through car window and turn on the switch. When leaving, please turn switch off and replace on speaker post. Warning, high voltage. For your own safety, do not attempt to repair or remove wires. Do not attempt to open heater unit. If you need assistance, please notify the theater box office or concession manager.
It's 2 minutes till showtime.
Popcorn, candy, ooh, hot dog, popsicle. Oh boy, Santa orange.
Show starts in 1 minute.
There are words men live by, words of strength, of wisdom, and of peace. We urge you to find the spiritual comfort and guidance we all so greatly need by attending your place of worship regularly.
Here's a new taste treat, the corn dog. Plump, juicy wieners are dipped in a thick, golden Southern-style corn batter that seals in all their freshness and flavor. If you like hot dogs, you'll love corn dogs. Everybody does. Try a corn dog with your favorite beverage. At the refreshment corner now. Corn dogs.
Broadcasting live from beautiful Union City, New Jersey. This is your movie quiz for Wednesday, September 29th, 2021. Here we go. Hello and welcome to the movie quiz. I am your host, Chris Mann-Nelson, and in just a couple of minutes, I am going to be walking you through 4 rounds of film trivia and puzzles. It's going to be a really fun time, good challenging questions. This is a completely free game to play, by the way. I will get to that in a bit. If you are watching on Twitch or you're watching on YouTube, it is a completely interactive game. You don't have to just sit there and think, I know that, I could answer that. You can answer it by heading to play.themoviequiz.com. I'm also going to put it in the Twitch chat as a link, play.themoviequiz.com. Once you are there, you will enter your team name. You can enter your email address if you want to be kept up to date about TMQ and other Trivia List games. And then you are all set. Like I said, it is a pay-as-you-wish game. You could pay us $0. You could pay us $100. Somewhere in between is probably more reasonable. But we'll talk about donations later in the game. But once you've signed up, once you've gone to this website right here, you've entered your team name, got yourself signed up, you are going to be playing against our 2 special guests tonight. They are returning guests, returning winners. They won the game last time they were here. She is an improviser. He is a comedian. They are a married couple. Please welcome back to the movie quiz, Caitlin Puckett and Calvin Cole. They are back on the show. Hello.
Hey.
How you guys doing?
We are doing excellent, and we are ready to kick some ass.
They are ready to kick ass. You're all on warning, and they are fully capable of doing it. I want to get the game started soon, but I also want to give people a couple seconds to filter in. So, what have you guys? Is there something you've been watching since you were last here and last won? Has there been a watch project?
Well, all the things that come to mind are all the trashy bullshit we watch all the time. I've been watching Hell's Kitchen Young Guns.
They're young.
Yes, but
Not
didn't we watch a crazy movie recently? That was that.
What crazy movie did we watch?
I feel like you made me watch it. Caitlin makes me watch very bizarre movies.
Ooh, what's the weirdest one?
Ooh,
that's a great question.
And bizarre how? Is there a through line through the bizarreness?
So Haozu is a Japanese horror movie.
Oh, translated as house, that one?
Yeah. You seen that one? I think it's Criterion. Yeah, it's really bizarre. Lots of supernatural hoo-ha. Yeah. It's shot like a comedy or like a daytime fluff show, but then it's got this horrific supernatural gore and weirdness going on. It's really bizarre.
And then
you're watching.
Just a quick heads up in the chat, comment that you two would make a good married couple rivalry as well if you ever want to go head to head on the game. I'm not suggesting now. You've got a team dynamic.
Each other or against another married couple?
Against each other, I think is what the comment is saying. To just sow dissension in your marriage.
I think what this is. This person probably lost to us last time, and they're trying to drive a wedge.
Yeah.
Listen, after 10 years in a relationship, we know better than to ever compete each other for even the smallest stakes. It's not worth it.
It will all come tumbling down.
Our fight was over Monopoly. We can't compete against one another.
All right, so it's a bad idea. Let's nix that idea. Let's keep Caitlin and Calvin on the same team and on the same page. All right, and let's do it. Let's jump into the game. Are you guys ready?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And we're ready. I think we're ready in the chat here. I'm gonna put it into in-game mode. I found the graphic. I couldn't find it last week. I was so rusty. I didn't know where to find my graphic.
Nice
It's there. Thank you so much. It's a cheap GIF that I made in Photoshop. All right. So let's before we get started, let's go over just a couple of quick ground rules for the game. No Googling, no IMDBing, no cheating. Just don't cheat. Use your brain. I have no way to enforce this because I can't. This is not the film House or a Japanese supernatural thriller where I can reach through technology and check on you. That would be great though.
No.
But full. It would be great for me, not for everyone else. Number two, don't put answers in the chat. If you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, head to play.themoviequiz.com and play.themoviequiz.com. Rule number three, play with friends, but keep your team sizes reasonable. And number four, type or select your answer and don't forget to hit submit. Crucial that you hit submit, even for multiple choice answers where you've clicked on your answer, you got to hit submit and it's got to get to me. All right, so let's jump into our first round of the game. I hinted at all of these on Instagram. We'll talk about that later. Your first round is called 20 Years of Darkness, Neo-Noir Films of the 21st Century. Noir films of the 21st century from the last 20 or 21 years. That is your first round. All right, let's jump right into it. Question number one. We had Ryan Gosling there on the graphic. The first question is about that movie. In Nicholas Winding Refn's acclaimed neo-noir Drive, Ryan Gosling plays a nameless, laconic stunt driver who wears an iconic jacket with what on it? Does his jacket bear a raven, a cobra, a scorpion, or a spider? All right, here we go. Starting the timer now. Click your answer and hit submit.
I remember liking that jacket so much.
It's a undeniably cool jacket.
You can't go wrong with a bomber. It's classic.
It's satin too. It's like, yeah.
I wish I had an
I lost you, Calvin, so I didn't catch your joke. I'm sorry.
Well, it was hilarious, and you'll never hear it.
I'm reeling over having missed it. All right, so if you can picture the back of his jacket, he's got little pinchy claws on there. A scorpion. Scorpion is your answer. Pretty even split between scorpion and cobra there, but nicely done. More teams pick scorpion. And also, if you're joining the game late, you can hop in. You missed question one, but it's not too late. You can still join the game at any time. All right, question number two is also a multiple choice question. Gosling also starred in the buddy noir, The Nice Guys, kind of a spiritual successor to what other pulpy Shane Black dark comedy starring Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer? Was that Kiss of Death, The Long Kiss Goodnight, Kiss the Girls, or Kiss Kiss Bang Bang? Which of these was a 2005 Shane Black noir comedy starring those two guys?
Man.
Have you guys seen the Val documentary?
No. Is it sad?
It's sad, but it's sad in like sort of a blanket way. It's just kind of sad that he lost his voice and he had to deal with that illness, but it's nice in its own way too, because it's about his career and him kind of rising above all that and keeping going. All right, so pretty good spread on this one. So these were all kisses as you gathered, and there's one decoy here. The Long Kiss Goodnight is also written by Shane Black, but about 10 years earlier. Your answer is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is the one that stars RDJ and Val. All right, question number three. It's a fill in the blank. You got to type it in. What master of dark atmospheric films directed the adaptation of Gillian Flynn's best-selling novel Gone Girl?
Yes.
Type it in and hit submit. What master of dark atmospheric films did I hang on? Sorry, guys. I locked it. It's okay. It's fixed. I hit the wrong button, but it's all, you should be good now.
Never do that again.
I'm sorry. Terrifying moment here on the quiz.
Lord.
Spelling counts.
Spelling does not count. It's okay. Let me just double check some of these. Some pretty good guesses here. Darren Aronofsky, David Lynch. David Lynch phonetically is pretty close because it's David Fincher. David Fincher is your answer. Only 23%. Oh, I thought that would be because Fincher has done he's like neo-noir, like
he's the guy.
Seven, The Game, Zodiac. Lots of amazing neo-noir stuff. Are you guys fans of this subgenre? I should ask.
Oh, of neo-noir?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. I took a whole college film course on regular noir.
Yeah.
And I found that fascinating. So, man, keep that stuff coming.
I found it. What I love is how it's become a very pliable subgenre. Like there's sci-fi film noir now. There's I guess there has been for a while since Alphaville, but
when there's so few genres that are so rigidly restricted by the visual quality of the film,
right? It's not just the content, but it has to look a certain way too. And that segues beautifully into this next question. The Coen brothers went full retro with what 2001 neo-noir starring Billy Bob Thornton, shooting it in slick black and white? What is the name of that Coen brothers movie starring Billy Bob Thornton from 2001?
I can't believe I got it all.
Thank you for reminding me of the thing that I definitely knew.
I like that. I like your little fan covering.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta assume everybody's a lip reader,
Yeah. No, it's like when it's during a baseball mound conference when the pitcher just puts the mitt over their mouth.
I approach movie trivia like Bill Belichick approaches the Super Bowl. It's all about trickery and deception.
Yeah, you gotta make them look over here. This was harder, way harder than I thought. I should have put this in the clues today because only one team got it. It's called The Man Who Wasn't There. The Man Who Wasn't There. Only 7%, and that is Calvin and Caitlin. They are the 7%.
Super underrated Coen brothers.
I know. I was watching clips of it today or yesterday when I was writing this, and I had no memory that Scarlett Johansson was in it at 17 or 18 years old.
Yeah, and that's one of the scenes that, for whatever reason, I remember very striking. For going down on Billy Bob Thornton.
That was not the scene I watched, and I haven't seen this movie in 20 years and remembered very little about it. I like that little cinematic nugget there. Right. Question number 5, back to multiple choice. Rian Johnson also made a highly stylized choice with his debut Brick, dropping audiences into a world of hard-boiled high schoolers who talk like Dashiell Hammett characters, led by what actor whose character attempts to solve a murder? Was that lead of Brick Jake Gyllenhaal, Chris Evans, Heath Ledger, or Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Which of those 3 actors starred in the, in my opinion, distractingly stylized Brick? It's
Rian Johnson sucks.
I like Rian Johnson. That's the thing. I like Looper. I like Last Jedi.
I've not seen Looper. I'll give you that. But
and I like Knives Out. I liked also. But I don't know. Brick is weird. We've got some weighing in, some Johnson. Oh yeah, happy birthday, Ryan. Beautiful. Ricky Scabs. There is no Joke of the Night award, but I think that so far that's the contender for the first ever. All right, so this is happy birthday to Ryan and happy birthday to Rian Johnson. So this is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. JGL is the star of Brick. These are all, I just kind of picked guys who are about the same age as each other to try and throw you off the scent. But most people got it right. Nicely done. All right, here comes question number 6. Which of these trippy Christopher Nolan noirs is the only straight-up remake in his filmography? Is it Memento, Inception, Insomnia, or The Prestige? It's the only one that is a straight remake of another movie. He's done an adaptation or two, but this one's the only straight-up adaptation of a book. But this is the only straight-up remake of another film.
I'll go through instinct. We get this wrong, it's Caitlin's fault.
Oh no!
Oh, I see how that. I see why you can't.
That's true.
Why you can't go head to head. I can even just I can even in Unity there are little flecks of
yeah. It's mostly my childish pettiness.
So this one everyone did pretty well. The only incorrect answer that people chose was one of the ones that he adapted from a book. He adapted The Prestige from a book, but he remade the, I believe, Swedish film Insomnia. That's why it's in Alaska, because it's a Scandinavian. It was originally a Scandinavian movie. What's that?
Is that the one with Robin Williams?
Yeah, Robin Williams is the killer in that, and Al Pacino, and he can't deal with the 24 hours of daylight. It starts to make him go nuts and peel at the layers of his guilt for something that he did. I won't go into a full spoiler of the 20-year-old movie. All right, question number 7 is also a multiple choice. One of the skeeviest modern noirs in a good way. It's just like kind of like makes you feel gross. This movie is Nightcrawler, which follows Jake Gyllenhaal's Louis Bloom as he does what? What does Louis Bloom do in this movie? Does he smuggle drugs for a cartel? Does he work as a getaway driver for bank robbers, illegally investigate crimes for TV news, or clean up crime scenes for the mob? Which one of those things does Gyllenhaal's creepy Nightcrawler do?
Jake
And I believe
not stay out of these noirs.
he can't. He's jam-packed full of noir.
Johnny Dark.
Do you think he's like secretly hideous and just does all his acting from the shadows?
No.
Yeah.
No, I've seen his face. He's a beautiful man.
You've seen his face in person, Caitlin?
Well, not in person.
through binoculars.
Although she did see Goldblum once briefly and was overwhelmed by his charisma.
I mean, is he tall?
He's so tall.
He's like 6'5", 6'6".
All I could say is you're just
tall. Yeah. Some actors and actresses, it's hard to tell how tall they actually are. He's one of those guys who's just like, he looks wide, like broad. All right, so almost everybody got this right. Nicely done. He illegally investigates crimes for TV news. He illegally investigates crimes for the TV news. And I believe this is like an early role for Riz Ahmed too. Isn't Riz Ahmed the guy who he takes on as his little protege? I'm pretty sure. So sound off in the chat if Riz Ahmed. Yes. Confirmed. Excellent. I remember a film. Here we go. And question number 8, your final question of round number 1. Robert Rodriguez transposed Sin City's visual style so completely from its gritty ink and paint origins that what graphic novelist is credited as a co-director? What graphic novelist is a credited co-director alongside Robert Rodriguez on, I'm pretty sure, both Sin City films? Which I do not like. Do you guys like Sin City?
I remembered when I saw it, but I have not rewatched it since high school, and I think it might be kind of a Boondock Saints-y situation.
It is a little bit.
Well, that's the thing. It's like watching. I watched Desperado, and then just like and then like up to like Grindhouse. It's just like Robert Rodriguez just got like too silly. He got like just like too self-indulgent. Too not that Sin City is silly, but it's just like it's still just very incredibly like cartoony. That I don't know didn't work for me.
A
lot of people
producers.
So this is the man who kind of ushered in the gritty, grimdark era of comics in the 80s with Dark Knight Returns. It's also like apparently a real scumbag. It's Frank Miller. Frank Miller is his name. All right, so let's take a look. That is the end of round 1. Let's take a look at your scores and standings. after one round. We've got a bunch of 5s, which is really the third place. It says 5th. Glorious Purpose 2, Stallone, highly stylized, speaking of which, and Ricky Scabs all have 5 in third place. Glorious Purpose 1 is in sole possession of second with 6, and in first place, tied with 7 points apiece. We got Marley's Chains, Sterling Cooper, and our guests, Winner Herzog. Did you miss one?
No.
No, were you you should have a point?
Yeah, right?
Here, I'll look through it real quick.
This is sabotage.
Did we not hit? I thought we got them all in.
I don't have any that should be regraded. All right, we'll keep that in the back of our minds as the game progresses. Because I can't find where it would be. But let's move on in the meantime to our second round of the night, which is going to be a mystery round. It's a mystery picture round. So I will show you still images of 7 movies, and then you figure out what ties them together. What ties these 7 movies together? Also, if anyone else is missing points at home, let me know in the chat, and I'll figure out what went wrong. Maybe it could be a submit button issue. Otherwise, let's move on. Here we go. Question number 1. Movie number 1. Starting off easy. No sweat to this one.
Are we supposed to be seeing different things? How many pictures do we get?
You're going to get them one at a time.
Okay.
So this is just number 1.
We're naming the movie?
Name the movie. Yep. Just
Okay.
name the movie.
Yeah. Thought we were naming the connection. It's like, where's the rest of the shit?
Yeah, no, I just want you to figure it out cold. I want you to channel your inner mentalist and figure out what I was thinking of when I wrote this. All right, so this, everyone who submitted got it right. It's Dumbo. Dumbo is your answer. Nicely done. All right, movie number 2. Should also be pretty straightforward.
Did we lose a point when I was going into on Ryan Johnson? Was that what happened?
Oh, like did I dock you one for talking shit about Ryan Johnson?
Yeah, be honest.
No, I mean I'm an honorable person. I wouldn't do that. And I also don't feel that passionately about Ryan Johnson. that I would fight for his honor. So everyone who submitted got this one right too. This is Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland is your answer. 100% got it right. Nicely done. All right, here comes your third movie. And this movie has a specific title. That I'm going to ask for, especially because you got two easy ones. So got to give me the specific title of this one.
Let's try that. Go. Go, submit. Go.
I think we're wrong.
All right. So this one was tricky. Actually, it's a goose egg on this one because it was tough. So this movie was split into two tales. This is from
right.
It's got the adventure. It's called The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad is the name of this. Yeah, so it's got the first half is about Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman, and the second half is about Mr. Toad. This is from the Ichabod Crane and Headless Horseman one. All right, here we go. Question number 4. Hang on, I'm going backwards. There we go. Question number 4. It'll be less stingy on this one than the last one.
What? I know
Cal- You're a fan of the stinginess, Calvin?
When it doesn't impact me, yeah.
Stinginess for all except me.
Yes. For me, very generous.
A wide berth for me.
You know I'm a Republican, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't have you. I wouldn't have you on the show otherwise.
Rugged individualism for everyone but me.
Yeah. So this one, the reason I took this one is technically called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but if you put Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, it's based on the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory book. So there you go.
I admire
right.
you.
Question number 5. What is this? What is this movie? And starting your timer.
I feel like
this could be a tricky title.
I can't be that.
There's nothing. There's no real tricks. No real tricks to this one.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was the movie that was based on the 1966 Batman series. There was an outgrowth of that, and it was just called Batman. It was just called. If you put Batman 1966, that's fine too, but just Batman was the actual title. All right, question number 6. Question number 6. This is probably this or that Ichabod Crane one is the hardest of the round to identify.
I mean, it looks it, yeah.
Right, just the lighting. But...
Mm-hmm.
Remember to think about to think about what might tie these films together. Remember, so far we have had Dumbo, Alice in Wonderland. I'll read them off actually when we get through all of them. All right, so this was actually this was a movie version of a long-running television series, just like Batman, same cast, but they released a movie, and it's called House of Dark Shadows. But Dark Shadows is also acceptable too, because it's based on it's an extension of the TV series. All right, and your final picture identification before you tie them all together. What is this movie? Here we go.
Old Horseshoe Head.
Caitlin, everyone's going to know it's Old Horseshoe Head.
Either way, it's a Western.
Yeah, it's about a cowboy who got his head stepped on.
Well, I believe there were horses in this scene.
Yeah, there's horses all over this this part of this film. I guess the whole film.
Yeah, it's really about how horses got screwed over in the whole reshuffling of.
Yeah, they did not move up or down in the.
They didn't move down.
They didn't move down. That's true.
That's true. We are talking about Planet of the Apes. This is Planet of the Apes. That's Chuck Heston and his lobotomized astronaut friend. But Calvin makes a great point. Horses, the ape dynamic completely inverted. And horses were just kind of just a straight line for them.
That's what they get for having 4 long fingers instead of arms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get a thumb, and then maybe you'll have your turn. All right, and so your last question here: what do these movies have in common? What do these 7 movies have in common? And let me read them off for you. They are Dumbo, Alice in Wonderland, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Batman, House of Dark Shadows, and Planet of the Apes. All right. And starting your timer now. And one person submitted an answer that is almost correct, but not specific enough. I don't want to say who it was.
Let's try it.
I got no
Yeah,
better idea.
I don't know either. Every movie has a horseshoe-shaped scar.
All right.
Every movie, horses are in the exact same social stratus.
Yeah, they're all they all feature the unmovable social cast of horses. All right, let me just make sure, because this was one where like the answer could be phrased different ways. So some people are close, but just not quite specific enough. Because if you said they've all been remade, they have all been remade, but what more specifically, these have all been remade by Tim Burton. Every one of these, Tim Burton has done a remake of Dumbo, Alice in Wonderland, Sleepy Hollow, the Headless Horseman story, Batman. All of these have been reimagined or remade by Tim Burton. We're getting to Halloween, so I'm starting the slow progression towards Halloween. All right, so let's take let's do our lightning round. Let's do the lightning round here. Okay, I almost gave away one of the answers to this lightning round when I was running my mouth before, because the way this is going to work is I'm going to ask you a question with 4 answers. You get a point for every answer that you get right. You don't have to get all 4. You just have to, if you know 1, 2, or 3 of them and you want to throw out a guess, no incorrect, no demerits for getting an incorrect answer. But you can get upwards of 4 points. So here we go. I almost gave away when I was talking about Robert Rodriguez. So fill in the locations for these film titles that begin Once Upon a Time in. So I'm just looking for, you don't have to don't write the whole film title, just write Once Upon a Time in this place. 1 by Quentin Tarantino, 1 by Robert Rodriguez that I almost said, and 2 by Sergio Leone. So there's 4 movies whose titles all begin Once Upon a Time in, 1 from Tarantino, 1 from Rodriguez, and 2 from Leone. Here we go, starting your 30 seconds now. See, I saw the heavy deliberation behind the fan.
I know a couple.
Yeah, it's a popular way to start your title. There's a lot of like there's a pile of like schlock movies. Like there's some Bruce Willis movie that's Once Upon a Time in Venice, meaning Venice, California, from like this like late period Bruce Willis where he was just like, yes, check please, and like just did not care. There's a whole bunch of them, but the ones that I'm looking for are Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that 86% of you got. Once Upon a Time in Mexico, which is Robert Rodriguez's, which is the sequel to Desperado and El Mariachi, which is how I almost gave away an answer by talking about it. And the 2 from Sergio Leone are Once Upon a Time in the West, his famous Western, and Once Upon a Time in America, which is more of like a gangster movie. It takes place around the turn of the century. So let's take a look at our scores and standings after 2 rounds and a lightning round here at the halfway point of the game. We've got, with 14 points apiece, Glorious Purpose 2 and Winner Herzog. We're 15 if you got whatever happened with that mystery point. Glorious Purpose with 15 in second place, and tied for first place is Marley's Chains and Sterling Cooper Rolling Deli Bets. Hang on, let me see. Didn't get, In America. I see what happened. If you put In America, it marked it as incorrect. So let me rescore that for you. And I always, rest assured, after every game, I go through the answers and make sure that everyone gets their correct points. If I miss something, I will catch it on the little audit that I'll do. How did you guys do ultimately on that?
Us, we were 50%. We got the
50%.
I should have guessed the West.
West. Just
Because I
yeah.
know who he is, but I couldn't think of the names of the movie.
I don't know.
So your third round is your puzzle round, and I'm bringing back a format that I've used before. It's called Make It a Double. So I'm going to ask you a little puzzle that's using context clues from a movie, and you'll solve the puzzle by doubling a letter in a movie title. So I'll give you an example from a previous game. If I gave you the clue, a criminal scheme in Minnesota spirals out of control as a distant slime grows closer in this Coen Brothers film. And so I'm describing from the context clues here, Fargo, right? So you double up a letter. I'm talking about a distant slime in the clue also. Doubling up a letter, double up that O, and you got Fargoo, right? So double up a letter in the title, and that will be your correct answer. We've done this before, and it worked out fine. So we're gonna give it a shot again with our first question of the round. Here we go. Stanley Kubrick directs this sword and sandals epic about a guy who keeps saying bad words in an ancient Greek city-state. Now, sometimes doubling the letter might, I'll give you a hint on this one. It might split the word, like Fargo, right? I split Fargo up into two. You should be able to type it out either way, and I'll get you the credit as long as you double up the right letter. This is one case where spelling actually does count because you got to do the right letter.
And are the words always words?
The words will always be words. The words will always be words. Yes. Good question. There's no nonsense in there. No nonsense words. I don't think. And there may be like some colloquialisms. I forget.
Sure.
All right. So the movie I'm describing is Spartacus, right? And if you double up the S, you get Spartacus. Spartacus is your answer. Nicely done. 43% of teams got that right. Here we go. Question number 2. In this bizarre sequel to The Hours, the author of Mrs. Dalloway survives into the late 20th century and becomes an unscrupulous stockbroker. So this one is actually, this one's combining, I'll give you the hint, this one's combining 2 movies in a way. I'm using The Hours as your clue, but the movie that you're going to double up is not The Hours. Okay, here we go. Starting the timer now.
Is it still doubling a letter?
Mm-hmm. Yep. The back half of the clue is the one, the movie title in question, and you got to double up one of the letters in it. All right. So here we go. Let me mark this one and that one. All right. So the answer, the movie about the unscrupulous stockbroker is Wolf of Wall Street. And the author of Mrs. Dalloway is Virginia Woolf, which is spelled with 2 O's. So you get the Wolf of Wall Street. The Wolf of Wall Street. So there you go. Question number 3. James Spader and Kurt Russell unlock an alien portal that leads to another world where the Beatles drummer is embroiled in a controversy. James Spader and Kurt Russell unlock an alien portal that leads to another world where the Beatles drummer is embroiled in a controversy.
Yeah.
I can't tell if this comment is sarcastic or not. It's got the in the puzzle round, it's always hard to tell. It's very hard to read the room.
I'll also say thank you for this.
Thank you.
It's sincere.
Yeah, I'm going to say thanks for this too.
Well, thank you both. Thank you both. And thank you, Okay, no, Stallone does love Virginia Woolf. So there you go. It's all sincere. 3 sincere thank yous all around. So feel free to insult me, everyone else. All right, here we go. So this one, the movie I'm talking about is Stargate, the movie Stargate, and we're talking about a controversy surrounding Ringo would be Stargate. So the R is the letter that you need to double up there. All right, Stargate. And question number 4. Jack Nicholson plays an acerbic writer suffering from OCD who begins to warm to the world around him after he meets and falls for a perfect butt. Jack Nicholson plays an acerbic writer suffering from OCD who begins to warm to the world around him after he meets and falls for the perfect butt.
Caitlin's already mentally writing this screenplay.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's all there. It's right there on the page.
It writes itself.
She's great in pitch meetings. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Pitching butts left and right.
Yeah, you guys, the world is hungry for butt remakes, butt focused.
Can't get enough.
Butt focused remakes of Oscar winning films. All right, so this one you could have doubled up. The same word appears in this twice, so you could have doubled it up twice. I would have taken that. But what I'm looking for is ass good as it gets. Ass good as it gets, or ass good ass it gets, which does change the meaning slightly, I guess. Oh, I see.
I'm interested in that movie.
Desmond is cackling at perfect butt downstairs.
It is good.
All right, so I mean, we've got the 4-year-old demographic locked up with as good as it gets. All right, question number 5. An SNL cast member who's been on the show since 2013 uses Billy Bean's cybermetrics method to write statistics-driven sketches. An SNL cast member who's been on the show since 2013 uses Billy Bean's cybermetrics method to write statistics-driven sketches.
It's not time.
Who's Billy Bean and what's his movie? And that'll do it for you.
He goes a bit, Calvin! Calvin,
no! All right, so this one we got 5 teams got it right. This is a tricky round. It's a puzzle round. It's supposed to be tricky. So the movie is Moneyball, and the SNL actor is Kyle Mooney, which makes your answer Moneyball.
He's been on there for 8 years.
He has been, yeah. He's been on since 20. I had to look that up, and he's been on the show for that long.
He joined with Bennett.
I never would have guessed that.
It's crazy. All right, question number 6. The spice must flow in this Arrakis set biopic of the character actor who's had notable roles in After Hours and An American Werewolf in London. The spice must flow in this Arrakis set biopic of the character actor who had notable roles in After Hours and American Werewolf in London. I'll say the first half of that is the part that needs to be altered. This guy that is the clue. He's an underrated guy.
Should be 2. Well, okay, we'll see.
So we had some close calls here. I think every team that submitted knew we were talking about Dune, but it's not Duun or Dunne. We're talking about Griffin Dunne. So Dunne, Dunne is your answer. Dunne, as in Griffin Dunne, who's also in Search Party. That was the last thing I saw him in. He was in that. Dude was in a ton of really good stuff in the early 80s. All right, a live action orphan boy trades in his animated pal Elliot for a new invisible friend, a mounted cavalry soldier from the 17th century. I'll say this was hinted at in my Instagram stories today. So A live-action orphan boy trades in his animated pal Elliot for a new invisible friend, a mounted cavalry soldier from the 17th century. One team's got it so far. All right, time is just about up.
Damn.
All right, so the movie that I'm describing here is Pete's Dragon, and a 17th century mounted cavalry soldier is a dragoon. A dragoon. So it's Pete's Dragoon. All right, and your final question of this round, I believe this was also in my Instagram today. A micro-budget sci-fi flick about two guys who invent a time travel box that makes you more and more stiffly formal every time you use it. A micro-budget sci-fi flick about two guys who invent a time travel box that makes you more and more stiffly formal every time you use it. Starting the timer now.
I'm interested in this movie as well.
This is a good movie. You come out with like a little tie, then a little monocle after like maybe the third trip. Then
your mouth just gets more and more pursed.
Yeah, your mouth gets just like literally you can't open it any further, and you just like you can't sit down. You're just stiff as a board constantly. All right, so the movie, an excellent movie. I should point out, if you haven't seen it, it's old-ish at this point. It's from 2004. It's called Primer. And so if you went through the box and you got more and more stiffly formal, you would be primer. You would be primer every time you use it. All right, so let's take a look. That was tougher than I thought. Sorry.
Really?
But I hope it was fun. Let's take a look at your scores and standings after 3 rounds. We've got Glorious Purpose and Winner Herzog with 20, Marley's Chains with 21, and Sterling Cooper Rolling Deli Bets with 22. Very tight game. There's also teams very close behind. And we have plenty of extra points on the board in the last round and the bonus question. It's a double points round, our 4th round, and then the last question's up to 6 points. So before we head to that 4th round, this is a very special time in every episode of the movie quiz. Like I said earlier, this is a completely donation-based show. We rely on your donations to keep it going. We've got no sponsors. We've got nothing like that. So even just a couple of bucks per player per game goes a long way. But in order to help me make that plea to you, I always bring in somebody from the world of cinema. And today we've got someone incredibly special. He's not a character from a movie. He's a crafter of movies and dreams and the original Dune movie. Please welcome to the show, Mr. David Lynch. David Lynch is here.
Good morning. Good morning, Chris Mann-Nelson. It's a pleasure to be here with you on this Wednesday, September 29th, with clear blue skies and golden sunshine.
It's thank you so much, Mr. Lynch. Can you hear me okay? Because it seems like you're very loud.
I can hear you so good. It's coming in loud and clear. I don't know what you mean about the volume control. There's a test microphone section that I filled out perfectly before joining.
Just if it's all red, if it shows you all red, you've got it right.
Good. Then it's perfect.
You're all set. So Mr. Lynch, or can I call you David? I don't know.
Call me David. I'll call you Christopher.
That's great. That's great. You guessed from Chris that it is Chris. It could have been Christian. But good job, Mr. Lynch. What are you working on? Can you talk about that at all?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. I'm going through I've realized that all of my old movies have the wrong title. I'm going through and I'm updated. There have been a lot of misconceptions about my work over the years, and I'm going through all of them, and I'm making sure they all are up to the standards that I now employ. Would you
Okay,
like to
so
hear some
I
new
would
titles?
love to hear these titles.
Okay, these are, I think, my most famous films. People will now know them as Eraserhands,
Okay.
Blue Corduroy, Very Famous Highway, and of course, Tom Holland Drive. I love Tom Holland. He is always Spider-Man to me. Yes.
He's so my question is, are these just title changes, or are you gonna do like a George Lucas and go in and like put Tom Holland into Mulholland Drive?
Tom Holland is in Mulholland Drive. He now, you know, the scene where the guy who has the dream goes behind the diner and sees the crazy creepy person. It's now Tom Holland pops out.
Yeah, and it just is he just shooting webs?
He shoots webs and he says, "Mr. Stark."
I mean, Mulholland Drive is a masterpiece, but that does sound better.
I think it's really good. I think it's really good. And I'm working with the folks at the Criterion Collection to have all the Blu-rays recalled so that no version of that movie without Tom Holland exists.
That was going to be my follow-up. Are you going to, this is your definitive creative vision, Blue Corduroy, Twin Peaks,
Eraserhands,
Twin Peaks, Take a Nice Walk with Me. These
you know.
I know you shared a little bit of this with me. So Mr. Lynch, this is very exciting. I'm a subscriber to the Criterion channel, so I can't wait to see these changes pop up. The reason you're here is we're going to talk. I know that you work largely independently, and so you know how it is to have to raise funds. If you could talk a little bit about why people should donate to the movie quiz.
Oh, yes. I mean, look, I recently watched my own masterclass, and one of the things I'm very honest about in that masterclass is that money is so good. It's not the be-all, end-all, but it is a means to an end. I like money a lot. It funds my house in LA where I just build furniture and kind of mix different paints together all day, according to any footage of me. But if it wasn't for money, I couldn't do that. And I think Chris feels the same way, except for him, he's not building bizarre contraptions and mixing together different paints. His paint is this show, and it's very important that we keep it going.
Well, I appreciate that, Mr. Lynch. If you want to follow David Lynch's advice and donate to the movie quiz, there's little tipping widgets down below the leaderboard there. You can pay through Venmo or credit cards. Any little bit is appreciated. It's wonderful. Mr. Lynch, we got a question in the chat. Where's your cigarette and 15th cup of coffee?
You know, I am staying. I have them nearby. They're waiting for me outside. I'm staying in the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's transcendental meditation retreat right now. And, you know, he's got very strict about smoking, but I get to do it outside sometimes.
And I just have one last question. I know you're going to stick around with us for round 4, but I have one last question. Since you're softening the edges around some of the older films, Eraserhead, Lost Highway, will you be giving the inverse treatment to the straight story and making it an absolute walking nightmare?
Yes. So for people who don't know, the straight story is a wholesome old man who drives across the country on his tractor. In the new version of the straight story, he runs over his own foot with the tractor 5 minutes in, and he has to drive across the country to a hospital that will take his bad insurance. So he's bleeding profusely. He's like getting paler. He's having weird visions on the tractor. You're gonna love it. I know you are a freak for that stuff.
I'm an absolute freak for that. I would love it if then the foot just like spoke to him, like the foot. It becomes like a road movie with him and the foot.
Oh yeah.
I know. I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job. I know you've watched your own masterclass. You know what you're doing. So, Mr. Lynch, I'm gonna bring Calvin and Caitlin back in for round 4.
Hey, friends.
So big fan. How are you?
It's my pleasure to be here with you tonight.
Oh my gosh, David Lynch
means the world.
He's here. All right, so let's hop into our final round, our final regular round of the night. It's your double points round, and it's called "So How Did You Two Meet?" It's all about celebrity couples who met on the set of a movie. So because we have a married couple here tonight, some of these marriages ended. I have to forewarn you. But these are all couples that met on them. I'm going to give you the movie, and you tell me for 1 point each, one half of the married couple, right? So both answers will be names. Okay, here we go. Let's jump into our first question of this final regular round of the game. So where did you two meet? Question number 1, starting off easy, get your bearings in the round. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. What couple that got married at some point met on Mr. and Mrs. Smith? And last names are fine. If you're running out of time, last names are perfectly acceptable. Mr. Lynch, did you ever see this movie?
No.
Do you ever see a movie that's not your own?
I've seen 3 other movies. I've seen How to Train Your Dragon 1, How to Train Your Dragon 2, and Mystic Pizza.
You got to finish that trilogy, Mr. Lynch. It's good. It caps off pretty well. All right, here we go. So, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, everyone who submitted got it right. It's Brangelina. It's Brad Pitt for 1 point, Angelina Jolie for the other. All right, question number 2. Green Lantern. Green Lantern showing up in the game 2 weeks in a row. Who is the couple? This couple, if I'm not mistaken, is still married.
Correct.
I tried to pepper them through so that they're not just like there's not one depressing section.
Not all in heated legal battles.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't believe David Lynch is here. That's amazing.
He's right there. He's got a lovely fireplace behind him.
It's so nice. I'm very lucky.
That's where you keep the coffee maker.
Yeah,
all right.
I kind of heated up a frontier style over an open flame.
Yep, pioneer style coffee. All right, so this couple that is still married is Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, our second Ryan Reynolds mention. Still, yes, and thank you, Ricky Scabs. I knew that you would be happy about having another Ryan Reynolds. Happy birthday to Ryan Reynolds as well. It's Ryan Johnson, Ryan Reynolds. All right, here we go. Question number 3. Pearl Harbor. So this couple met on Pearl Harbor, fell in love on Daredevil. Who are they?
Oh yeah.
All the Ryans are welcome here. Ryan, you are a benevolent leader of Ryans.
David Lynch, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
In Twin Peaks, the log lady and the log speaks to her. Yeah. I've always wondered what the log says.
Oh, the log has lots of interesting things to say. It kind of tells her things about the future. But what most people don't know is that the log's voice sounds like Kristen Chenoweth.
Oh,
yes,
that's going in the
chirping about like Laura Palmer should look out.
Are you're gonna explicitly you're going to explicitly put that in the remastered Ultimate Edition of Twin Peaks. I'm assuming. Once again,
Yes.
not trying to tell David Lynch how to do his job.
Now, is she
No. And once again, all those blue will be recalled. So look for an email from me and telling you where to dispose of your fucked up Blu-rays.
Are you gonna?
Yes?
Mr. Lynch, self-addressed stamped envelopes in with those letters, or just
Well,
on your
do you
own?
remember the elections in California where Republicans were putting up fake ballot boxes?
You're repurposing those fake ballot boxes.
They're going to look a lot like that. Yeah, you just kind of drop the box set in, and it'll go to a nice home.
That fireplace behind you. All right. So your answer here, they met on Pearl Harbor, fell in love on Daredevil, and are no longer married. It's Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. And I should say, this is the second week in a row that I've asked a Daredevil question. So you've been Daredeviled. You've been Daredeviled, everyone. I'm going to do my best to get as much Daredevil content into season 5 of the game as possible. So look out for it. Yeah, it's exciting. It's a new era. It's a new chapter in the quiz. All right, here we go. Question number 4. I know what you did last summer. I know what you did last summer. Who is the married couple from that? No, I don't think you'll. No, I'm not gonna make you watch Daredevil. Don't worry, Ricky Scabs. I'm not that mean. It's not. Although the fabled director's cut is on Amazon Prime. Mr. Lynch, if you're looking for a 4th movie to see, try Daredevil director's cut.
Cool.
Yeah, it's. I think it's right up your alley.
Okay. I believe you.
In what is that called? A deprivation chamber?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Doesn't Daredevil sleep?
Yes, he does, because I think his other senses are so heightened that he can't sleep otherwise.
I heard that in the director's cut at the end, Ben Affleck lowers his sunglasses, looks straight into the camera, and winks.
Yeah.
Like maybe he wasn't blind at all.
Yeah. It's just, and then he speeds away in a convertible. All right. So this couple, I think this couple's still married. They went on to star in the Scooby-Doo franchise together. It's Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. And even 50-50 for both of them. All right. Question number 5. Cleopatra, who is going back beyond the 90s for once here. Who is the couple that met and married? Met on Cleopatra and got married.
And then
Cleopatra, big influence on Eraserhands back in the day.
Yeah.
The historical figure or the film?
Oh, the film. I guess I've seen a 4th film. I guess I've seen Cleopatra also. But I saw that I saw Cleopatra and I just thought, boy, what if a guy gave birth to like a little creature?
You wouldn't have had to have seen it. I have definitely been inspired by movies that I've just heard about.
I should say, before I reveal this answer, I'm just going to say, because I think by now some people are here for are filling in for Meredith and Peter's 8:15 show. You can watch here on Twitch, and your answer sheet is going to be at quiz.nyctrivialeague.com. And I also encourage all TMQ players to stick around. You got to shift over to this website to get your digital answer sheet. But if you've got Twitch open, it's the same Twitch feed. And everybody else who's here for the other game, come back next week and play. All right. So the answer here: this couple met on this movie, and then they were married multiple times.
Yeah, I was going to say, what were the other movies that they met on?
Yeah, where did they meet on again? And one of the movies that they worked on together was Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. So it's all kind of Virginia Woolf of Wall Street. It's all coming back together.
It's almost like you only know 30 or 40 movies, Chris.
I've written almost 2,000 questions over the last year. I'm circling the drain here. I'm circling the drain, and that's why you're all getting Daredevil. All right, it's going to be exclusively Daredevil content. Moving on, I'm just going to go real deep. All right, here we go. Question number 6: Cruel Intentions. Cruel Intentions.
Do you think is Daredevil the first movie where Kevin Smith had more than one on-screen line of dialogue?
Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be his first, like, not his movie, I think. Not that he's been in a ton, like, but he had like kind of a large role in the fourth Die Hard. Like, he had like a pretty big. I had forgotten that he was in Daredevil until I Daredeviled myself and rewatched it recently. Oh, that's true. Ryan points out he did have a full dialogue in Chasing Amy, but in like another movie, like Daredevil was probably the first time he had like that he really had to stretch to be. He was like a coroner. I think. All right, so this one, nicely done. I thought this would be tough, but I guess it helped you narrow down because we had Sarah Michelle Gellar before, so you can focus on the other lead. It's Ryan Phillippe. More people got Ryan Phillippe than Reese Witherspoon. That's surprising to me. But yeah, that's the couple, Ryan Phillippe and Reese Witherspoon. Not married, right? No longer married? No longer married.
They have 2 children that look exactly like them.
Ooh, I guess that's normal. All right. This one's tough. This one I think might be tough. Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
Not for Caitlin, apparently.
Caitlin is right
on it. I know all the couples. I know all the romance. You can't hide it.
You dialed into the hot goss.
You know better than me. Caitlin, she doesn't like to spread it around, but she has her finger on the dirty, dirty pulse of Hollywood. She knows all the dirt.
Well, that's how she saw Jake Gyllenhaal, but didn't really see him because she's just out there. She's out there with like a camera with like a big exploding flash bulb. It's like an old
Gyllenhaal is like an urban legend, like his face, like no one's actually ever seen it.
Never exposed to light, I don't think.
Yeah, it's like collectively everyone's convinced themselves that it's like, yeah, I mean, someone has to have seen him, right? Like,
what a movie, David Lynch.
That's a pretty.
I think Jake and Maggie Gyllenhaal might be the same person.
Maybe it's all just there's only Maggie, and it's like it's a big trick.
Same with the
and so your answer on this one, pretty good. A lot of teams got it right because I thought this was tricky because I don't think I knew that these two were actually married, and they are still married. As far as Caitlin, back me up. Still married, these two?
I haven't kept the pulse on them.
All right. Well, you gotta get back out in those bushes and find out.
He's lying.
It's Penelope Cruz and Javier Bardem. They are married and they met on this film. And your final regular question of the game
might be normal size.
A beautiful mind. What 2 people met on A Beautiful Mind and got married? Ending on a not married here. I think ending on a no longer married.
I hate it when that happens, Chris.
I'm sorry. Well, I know you're all about happy endings now, Mr.
I know.
Okay.
I just want to say I fully endorse this plan of yours, Mr. Lynch.
Thank you. That's so nice to get some positive feedback.
I know you're
wait until you see the new version of the Elephant Man. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so cool. The Elephant Man. What do you say?
It's still the Elephant Man. It didn't change.
It's still called the Elephant Man, but in the movie, he turns into an elephant and crushes everyone who said bad things about him. Like he crushes them, and it feels so good to see that. It feels so good to see him
because he gets a magic ring, right? You were telling me a little bit about that. He gets the Elephant Man gets himself. It's historically inaccurate, but because because I know you're trying to work in more like Marvel-y elements. Like,
well, I was just gonna say he gets a magic ring. It is one of the Infinity Stones, and I'm sort of like hoping that at the end of this I can make a new movie where all of my characters come together, and it's like Agent Cooper, it's the little baby from Eraserhead, it's like who else? It's Laura Dern screaming in Inland Empire, and they all team up to fight Thanos.
It's the ghost of Robert Blake from Lost Highway.
Yeah,
I want to see agents from Lynch.
Yeah, the Lynch Vengers. All right, so we've got. Let me just make sure everyone got their points. Looks good. All right, so these two. There is an Avenger in the mix in this answer. Paul Bettany, the Vision. Paul Bettany and Jennifer Connelly met on Beautiful Mind and got married. All right, so let's take a look at your scores as we head into our final question. Final question of the night. Let's take a look at those scores. We've got with 34 points apiece, Glorious Purpose and Winter Herzog. We've got Marley's Chains with 36, and Sterling Cooper Roland Deli Betts is in the lead with 38. So that brings us to our final question of the game, which is our post-credits bonus question. So this question is worth up to 6 points. I'm going to ask you a question that has 2 correct answers, but I'm also going to show you a third that is incorrect. Each question is worth 3 points. If you get both right, both, or you guess both right and hit submit, you'll get 6 points. But if you pick a right answer and a wrong answer, you will get 0 points. So if you know one for sure and you don't want to risk losing those 3 points that you got in your pocket there, you can just pick one and hit submit. All right. So I always try to find sort of a combination of the two or more of the categories that we've gone over in tonight's game. So this last question is about where married couples and film noirs meet. So here we go. Here is your final question of the night. Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall met on the set of 1944's To Have and Have Not and went on to star in multiple film noirs together, including which two of these movies feature both Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall? And your options are Key Largo, The Maltese Falcon, and The Big Sleep. Which two of those star Bogey and Bacall? If you pick The Decoy and you get and hit submit, you'll get 0. But if you get both right, you get 6 points. So here we go. 20 seconds on the clock. I'm just seeing Ryan's comment, caveat show all Daredevil, please. Not for Halloween, but maybe for the next one. We'll just do all the Daredevil freaks in New York City. I mean, honestly, I feel like I couldn't do it at Caveat. I'd have to do it in Hell's Kitchen because it would be disrespectful to Daredevil to do a Daredevil Christmas show. Honestly, it's kind of tempting. All right, so let's take a look at your answers. Which two of these movies featured both Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall? They were The Big Sleep and Key Largo. Lauren Bacall is not in The Maltese Falcon. She's not in that film. All right, so that was a tricky one. That was hard. So let's see what that did to our final scores tonight. We've got with 34 points apiece, Glorious Purpose and Winter Herzog. I'll give you guys the bonus point. You got 35. With 36 in third place is Ricky Scabs. Sterling Cooper, Roland Deli Betts played it safe, which is a smart move sometimes. They went with just 3 points, took second place with 41 points. And your winners jumping into first place on the strength of a 6-point bonus, Marley's Chains with 42 points. As always, I will audit these, make sure that everybody got the points that they deserve. And so especially, for league teams and for the standings, and then I will have your standings posted tomorrow. So thank you, Calvin and Caitlin. I hope it was a pleasure to have you back.
Thank you so much for having us. And
thrilled to be here. The results obviously are bullshit, but
I know. I know that you're going to call into question the validity of this contest.
I'm already writing my letter to your superiors,
which is Desmond, who is obsessed with perfect butts.
I'm gonna open up Perfect Butts line, get him on my side.
And thank you to David Lynch. Thank you so much, David Lynch.
Everyone, have a great day.
Oh my god, I love David Lynch.
Special thank you to Colby Smith for putting me in contact with David Lynch. Thank you to David. If you see Colby, let him know that I appreciate it.
He's a sweet kid. That poor fuck. He's a sweet, stupid kid.
Give Colby our love as well. We've always loved and pitied him.
I think we all feel that way. So thank the three of you and Colby so much. Thank you to everyone playing at home for tuning in. Come back next week for game 3 of season 5. Thank you. I watch. Stay tuned for Meredith and Peter's show. It's going to start in like 2 seconds right after I shut up. And they always thank Cullen and Murr, and I always run out of time. So I want to thank Murr for creating and running this trivia software, the Rizio software, and Cullen for setting up the trivia list and making the show happen. They always thank those guys. I always run out of time, and I mean to. So thank you guys. Stay tuned for Meredith and Peter. Stay safe, watch the movies, and I will see you back here Wednesday night at 7 for Game 3, Season 5 of the Movie Quiz. McClunky.